gonna be a rough recording because we're doing it on a handheld, but we're getting our ChiBattery for the second time here. And they even went and put it in a new box too. They didn't send it back in the dilapidated sent back box that I sent back. Anyways, this is allegedly the same battery. Hopefully it's in proper working condition this time. I guess it's probably a good thing I didn't do an unboxing the first time around, because it didn't actually work the first time I opened it. Well, I mean, it worked. It was having some problems, that's for sure. But yeah, it's the 60 volt, 70 amp hour ChiBattery, or ChiBattery. I don't know, they're from Chicago, not China, so I would think it's ChiBattery, you know, like Chicago, ChiBattery. I don't know, but 60 volt, 70 amp hour touring battery, yep. And they even went and put new stuffing in there instead of my super ghetto bubble wrap job, so that's probably good. Ta-da! There's the battery. What if they just like legit sent me a brand new battery? It'd be fucking clowning. The other thing too is that allegedly these things, we got the 3D printed little cover caps for here, as you can see. And I didn't know this when I got them, and so it was super cool. Talking to them in the email, they said they'd send me a few of these. But apparently the 70 amp hour 60 volt ChiBattery is the only one that doesn't come with a cap on the little charge port there, so that's an interesting little detail to know about. But yeah, apparently if you ask them, they'll send you some 3D printed ones, potentially. I really think they should start selling those on the site, or like, I don't know, maybe even just include them with the batteries. I don't really see why they wouldn't. But it was super cool of them to send them to me regardless. Super stoked to have this battery back. First couple times I used it, it was pretty fun, even though I didn't like use it to its full capacity. So at about like, I don't know, 70-80%, I felt like a noticeable drop in power, which is like not really supposed to happen at like 80%. That was no bueno. But when I had finally, well, what had happened originally was that the battery wasn't charging. So I downloaded the little app, I started checking out the different cell balances, and turned out cell 6 and 7 were having some issues. Cell 6 was at like 1.7 volts. Cell 7 was at like 5.1 volts. I don't know, cell 6 was like charging cell 7 or something. I don't even know what was going on. But somehow cell 7 was getting like charged while the bike was, you know, discharging, whatever the fucking terminology is. Like basically, while I was running the bike, instead of that one cell depleting, it was somehow charging, which is no bueno. Probably a good thing I never actually wrote it down to its like full capacity, because it might have like continued to charge that until it went kaput. But anyways, brand new battery. Don't really know what it's charged at. I guess I can actually check that right here. 58%. Okay, so we're gonna need to do some charging, and I'm gonna look at some cell balances, and then we're gonna do a first test ride. Not really sure when I'm gonna do the first test ride, but hopefully by the end of that first test ride, all the cells are doing what they're supposed to be doing. All right, we run in portable again real quick. Just got the new ChiBattery installed, well, the semi-new, and hopefully things are doing better. So we're gonna be doing our maiden voyage, our first test ride on the hopefully improved battery. And yeah, let's just hop on the bike and get to it, shall we? Anyways though, it is absolutely sweltering out. I am so glad to be fucking moving finally, because it really is just that hot out. I need that fresh air. But anyways, yeah, we're back at it with the brand new ChiBattery. I got to pick my kid up at 3 and it's 1:14, so I'm pretty much just gonna get in as much riding as I can until that point. But yeah, we're not really going anywhere special. It's just this cool little, like, I don't know, grass field that's got a couple little bumps in it. Calling them jumps is a pretty strong word, but they're still pretty fun. Uh-oh, what is that? Oh no, people doing burnouts on the crosswalk? Aww, poor crosswalk. I can't lie, what is going on? We're in sport mode? It feels a little sluggish, I can't lie. Oh, you know what it is? If I remember correctly, there's actually like, in the BMS, you can't actually unlock full power with a non-stock battery. So I think I'm actually limited to like 6 kilowatts or something like that. That might be the case actually. So now I basically have like a race battery and a fucking touring battery, I guess. I don't know, there's like a way around it somehow. I don't really know how to do that with the stock BMS, or not the stock BMS, but the stock controller. I think it's based on the controller, not the battery. Like the controller, the stock controller recognizes whether or not you have the stock battery, and it won't like allow you to reach full potential unless you like change some settings or something. I don't know. It might be something that I legit need like a new controller for, which I hope isn't the case, but I don't know. You never know with these things. They're kind of weird sometimes. Yeah, we are definitely not putting down full power. I need to figure that one out pronto. All right, here we are. This is the place.
It's nothing like super special or anything. It's just kind of like a nice open grass field that isn't like a designated dog park or anything like that. But yeah, pretty chill place. There's like some like dirt single tracks here. There's like a couple little like bumps and jumps here and there. So I think on this line there's like a jump somewhere, like right here or some shit. Yeah, it's like a little bit of a something. We hit that with a little bit more gusto, that might actually be something. Hell yeah, brother. Now that's a bit of a jump, for sure. Especially somebody like me who's like not entirely skilled with this sort of thing. It gets the job done. It doesn't need to be a whole lot more than that, that's for sure. All right, that works pretty well, even on the other way. I actually really like that. I wanted to try that other jump, but this one's pretty fun. Sheesh. Yeah, I'm liking that. All right. Sheesh. Oh, that was just straight to flat too. That was iffy. All right, we'll hit this another time on the way back, and then we'll go check out some of the single track that I'm pretty sure is back here. Shoo. Oh God, so that's sketchy. You don't want to be fucking just charging through unknown territory like that. That could have gone real iffy. Just cutting through tall grass like that. You got to be careful with that shit, that's for sure. This is the type of shit I got this battery for, was like riding out to cool ride spots and then just like chooching along the whole time. Because that's the thing, is it's like for the stock battery, it's kind of a one or the other thing, right? Like you either do some exploring with your battery or you do some trail riding with your battery, right? Like you can't go like if you're trying to dual sport with the stock battery, you're kind of going to have a bad time because you're going to spend most of your battery just like getting to the place you want to ride at. And then by the time you're there, you're already at like 50-60%, or even if it's not quite that low, even if it's like you're at 70%, well, it's like, all right, well now I know I need like 30% to get back. So really I only have like, you know, another 40% to play with, if that, and that's if I'm going down to zero, which ideally you shouldn't be, right? So like in those situations, it's kind of like, all right, you get there, maybe like rip around for a couple seconds, but you're pretty much gonna have to leave immediately, right? Either that, or it's like you just like drive to the trailhead or whatever you're trying to do, and you ride like that so that you don't use all your battery getting there, right? And so like really up until now, like those were my two options: either like drive to the place I want to ride, or like just be okay with riding around and not necessarily like being able to like explore or like fully experience whatever area I'm riding in. So this is going to be really, really nice. Of course, assuming that the battery is fully operational and functional and all that, right? Ow, fucking a little bit of a toe knock on that stump there. Ouchie. Good thing it was not the fucked up toe. That could have been bad. But yeah, so now I'll be able to ride to the trail and enjoy the trail. I mean, I'll be able to fucking go on excursions now. Like, not only that, but I'll just like if I just want to like go explore different cities and stuff, like I'll be able to do more than just like ride to that city. Like if I wanted to explore some place in Seattle, I basically couldn't, right? Like I could ride to Seattle, maybe ride around for like a half a second, and then I'd have to like turn around and go home more or less. So I'm super excited for that. Definitely stay tuned for I think now it's definitely going to be possible to do that Seattle ride that I was thinking of doing, the Gran Turismo Seattle course, or at least a modernized version of it. So that'll be super cool. Definitely look forward to that. But other than that, just like in general, checking out fun ride spots. Oh boy, a foot downed. Shoot. Was not expecting some shit like that. This is some pretty good single track. It gets like pretty tech in certain places too. Like those fucking roots back there were like pretty techy, I can't even lie. This is pretty good stuff here. Oh, and we're back here. Sure. Ooh. Oof, yep, that's definitely blackberry bush along the side. See, the only thing about the brakes, so like I got the big ass brake rotors and those kind of help a lot, but like really, I think the only like true solution for brake power on these things is to get better brakes. But the problem with that is like I'm one of those weirdos who like I really like the brake sensor and I definitely want to keep it, right? Like I feel like the brake sensor is really only helping me and like really couldn't hurt me. Like I'm not a wheelie guy, so like I don't need it for those purposes, that's for sure. But like I feel like I'm more likely to be saved by the brake sensor function than I am to be like hindered by it. And so I really just don't want to give it up because it's a safety feature and it's actually like a really fucking useful one for bikes with this much torque. like just ready to go at any time. Like, awesome safety feature to have. Woo, boy. See, there we go. We actually kind of like hit that one at an angle and landed on the trail. That was nice. But yeah, that's like the main problem with getting upgraded brakes is I really don't want to have to ditch the brake sensors, because most of them, from what I understand, most of the brake upgrades really are either going to be like traditional motocross brakes more or less, or they're going to be like super fancy like mountain bike brakes, and neither of those are going to come with you know, motor shut off safeties or whatever, right? Oh, that's such a nice little jump. It's so fucking perfect, it really is. Which, I mean, like, I can still lock up the tires. It's just like I gotta fucking squeeze the leaves. Like, I've used some really good brakes on like somebody else's bike before, and I can't lie, it's really nice to just like know that you can stop that shit on a dime. But it's kind of uncomfortable to have brakes that strong. Like, I don't want brakes where like I barely touch them and like, you know, the front wheel might lock up and I just fucking lose the front end, right? Like I would much rather have some brakes that I can just kind of ease into, because they're like not quite as powerful. See, like, I lock up here just fine. Maybe it's harder to lock up on like asphalt, but no, I really like the brake sensors. I really don't want to give them up, and that's kind of the main reason why I haven't like gone balls in on some brakes. Otherwise, I honestly probably would have. Shoo! See, the only thing about this battery that's pissing me off so far, you see this shit right here? That's not supposed to be showing. That's what shows when you press that button there. But the problem is that this button protrudes so far that it actually hits the top of this thing here. And so like it's constantly like going into the settings, and like luckily you have to kind of like press the buttons in a specific way in order for like the settings to be changed or whatever. So it's not like a super duper huge concern, but like technically that's still a concern. Like you could accidentally fuck with some settings that could potentially damage your battery just because this thing is always touching that. So one mod that I still need to make that I've thought of is like either get like hot glue would probably be like the least good solution for this, but like basically just like run a bead of hot glue around this so that there's like something higher than the button itself for the lid to kind of close onto. That, or get some sort of like foam tape or something and just put foam tape around that. But either way, I definitely want to put something around that so that it's not like the highest point and so that it's not just fucking constantly touching that. That's been pissing me off. But anyways, we're at 93% battery. The main reason it pisses me off is because you can't see like what your battery percentage is, because that stupid shit is always getting pressed, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. That's just the design. Like, okie dokie. Like, these batteries have a lot of potential, but there are like a couple really weird things about them, like the fact that they don't come with the battery cover, but literally all their other batteries do. So it's not even like a ChiBattery thing in general. It's just like specifically this battery comes with some really weird funky features that like really need some workshopping. Like, how did they not notice? Like, honestly, that would be the very first thing I would notice about that stupid button, is like, uh-oh, it gets pressed every time you fucking do this, right? Like, oops, we gotta fix that. Like, that would be like the first thing, like the first time you close the lid, you would think. I mean, I had like, when I installed this battery for the first time, that was my first thought, was like, oh, that button's gonna get pressed all the time, right? Guess what button got pressed all the fucking time, right? Shoo! And so it's just bewildering to me that like the people who developed this battery and built it and engineered it and stuff, like they totally just spaced out on like one of the most obvious things about it. Like, hey, you know, we forgot that maybe the fucking lid will hit this button, no? Ah, fuck it, just ship it like it. Like, they really shipped it like that, bro. They were really like, fuck it, it's too late to change the design. And then, like, again, like, literally all the other batteries have, like, the little charge port cover, but for some fucking reason, specifically, the 60-volt, 70 amp hour Touring just doesn't have that. Woo, boy, oh, that's such a nice jump. I really do love that. We're about to spend all our time just hitting this jump. We really are. Woo! Oh, that's so good, bro. But nah, this is a great ride spot. It's just kind of fucking tucked here for like no reason, but it's an actually like really dope fucking ride spot. Just a bunch of random little like dirt single track happening here. This was supposed to be a range test though, so I should probably, I don't know, go somewhere else maybe. One more time and then we'll roll out to some other location, even though this is really fun. Oh, that's so good. But yeah, definitely not the most efficient riding either, going like back and forth, like full stop, full acceleration, full stop, full acceleration, literally like the worst case scenario. So I mean, that's about a mile a percentage nearly, maybe like a little less, I guess. Like if we're getting 8 miles out of 10%, theoretically that's like 80 miles out of 100%, which I kind of doubt, but those are the type of numbers we're looking at here. Very theoretically, honestly, but still. All right, so we're gonna go to the other like super crucial ride spot that I know of. This one is actually honestly probably equally as fun, but like the whole thing is a trail, basically. You'll see what I mean. I think one thing I need to do actually is replace these brake pads. I think I replaced the stock brake pads with the like Shinko brake pads or whatever, the like ones that everybody upgrades to. I think I did that at about like 400 or 500 miles. Like I got like a little bit of use out of the stock ones before I did it, and it was only like a few hundred miles. I think I switched them when I did like the first oil change or something like that, right? And like at this point I've got like I think 1,500 miles on the bike itself, so I have like at least 1,000 miles on these brake pads, and I'm thinking it might actually be time to switch those out. They still got a pretty decent amount of meat on them, but honestly for me it's more about like the lever feel than anything. Like I don't want to have to squeeze the lever quite as much. I think I possibly also need to like figure out like the brake bleeding process a little bit, which I'm like somewhat skeptical of that too, because like the bike kind of just like came a certain way. I don't want to call the brake squishy, but you definitely got to pull on those fuckers, right? Yeah, it seems like no matter how or how many times I bleed the brakes or do like the stupid like, you know, zip tie the brake lever thingy, like I've tried all the tricks. Like I don't think there's air in it. I think it's just kind of a bad set of brakes. Like not like I got a bad pair, but just like the brakes themselves are just really not that strong. Like I think that's all there really is to it, if we're being completely honest. Holy fuck, she dancing. Shoo! It's a good thing there wasn't anybody on the other side of that, honestly. Ooh, and it's not wet. No mud. That's the best part, man. Woo! Alright, that was a little on the sketchy side, especially since it was such a fucking fat, like, curved downhill. I had nearly no time to slow down there. Alright, we're still a little muddy up in here, so I'm a little doubtful of the other section that I've been wanting to try. I've been kind of waiting for things to dry out a bit. I mean, I've definitely gone this way a few times regardless. You guys will see what I mean. And it should theoretically still be slightly better, but it's always pretty bad, really. And it's definitely getting pretty grassy over here too. This was all straight up gravel the last time I was here. It's only been a few weeks, really. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. This shit gets pretty fucking swamped out in the off season, so. Oh, we're slinging mud all right. Oh boy, that was a bad move. It's crazy to me too, because it hasn't really rained in like 2 weeks, and it's been hot as fuck, and of course all these plants are here, so you would think these plants would be drinking all the water that is here, but as we kind of got her turned around. All right, that was a mistake. I'm all hot as fuck now, so that's good. A little muddy too. I just washed these pants, so that's fucking cool. Definitely gonna have to wash the bike when we get home. Whatever, man, it's a dirt bike, bro. I'm the rare dirt bike rider that'll sit there and complain about being muddy. And it's not even because I don't ride dirt. It's just like, mud is where I draw the line, bro. Dirt, sand, that's all fun. Mud is just kind of like disgusting and annoying, bro. Sure, it's kind of like a whole different skill set, and it's probably just really a skill issue at the end of the day. Maybe a slight equipment issue too, because these Shinko 244s are really just not built for the mud. That's for damn sure. If I had some motocross tires, it'd probably handle it a lot better, if we're being completely honest. But just in general, man, these 244s, they're pretty decent all-arounders, but they do struggle in certain off-road conditions, that's for damn sure. They're honestly pretty closely matched to the originals as far as off-road performance, which isn't saying like a whole lot, but it is actually kind of saying something, because oh my god, that was actually really sketchy. I'm not even gonna lie. I wonder if that looked as sketchy on camera as it felt in real life. That was not it, Chief. Let me do it again. But what's unfortunate is that after I hit this, there's not really gonna be a way to get back. Yeah, see that? It like launches me towards there. I really gotta like figure out the angle of that jump before I like full send like that. Like you really gotta be like more or less like whipping it to the left when, and I can't whip shit, so you know, I'm not whipping anything, right? Because if you're just taking it straight, right? Like this is straight right here, and you're not even landing here. Like if you're really hitting this jump, you're landing like at least here, maybe even on the transition. If you're landing on the transition like this, flying at like 35, 40 miles an hour just straight towards that, That's not a good time. It's just not. You don't want to be fucking adjusting at the last minute like that before you hit a fucking wall of blackberries. That's no fun. So yeah, that one's like a bit sketchy. Probably need a little bit more skills before I like fully tackle that one, but still pretty cool. Now this jump though, this jump remains pretty straight the whole time, so that one you can really kind of just hit and not worry too much about. So we're gonna try that real quick. We'll just try this wide open, honestly. Fuck it. She's straight. Yeah, we just do not quite have the power for that. That was fully goosed out, and I don't even know what my speed was, but it definitely wasn't 40. We'll try one more thing. But what I want to try is seeing how much momentum I can get before I reach it. See if that makes a difference. Like if I start from here, woo! Maybe, just maybe, it'll give me the momentum I need. Cause like if I reach 40 before I even hit the hill, that might make a difference. Shoo! We almost cleared it completely. I think I got front wheel on the transition. I want to try to hit that like even a little bit fatter. But yeah, I could definitely see how like if I just used the stock battery, I'd be absolutely fucking jolting this thing. Shoo! Oh, that was it! Yo! I was floating on that one. I landed back tire on the transition too, man. Holy fuck, dude. That was fucking it, bro. Bro, I cleared the whole fucking thing too. Back tire and that was sick. Bro, this thing better still be recording. If this thing isn't recording still, I'm actually gonna be pissed. No, that's actually kind of a fat fucking jump. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. There to fucking there, dude. That's like a serious like 20 footer. 15 at least, bro. No, that's metal as fuck. Dude, we're gonna hit that shit again. Yeah, if I had those extra fucking 2.5 kilowatts, honestly, I'd probably kill myself on this one. Cause yeah, if I was full sending that, I would go even further. Yo, dude, that is buttery, bro. That is actual straight fucking butter, dude. What the fuck? All right, actually, hold on. I need the wide angle shot on that. I really fucking do, dude. That is honestly so fucking cash money. That's the first time I've actually like really truly sent that jump. But yeah, that's honestly metal as fuck. Honestly, the fact that this thing is like only pulling the 6 watts or the 6 kilowatts right now, probably honestly a good thing. Cause if I was running 8.5, I'd probably be too much of a pussy to just hold it wide open. And I'd spend half the time trying to figure out like the perfect throttle position for what I'm trying to do. Honestly, this way, like because I only have the 6K, I'm far more comfortable with just holding it wide open. And it's literally just like the perfect amount. And I just went the wrong way, didn't I? No, I didn't. I'm going the right way. Holy fuck. All these jumps look the fucking same, dude. There's a sketchy entry, I can't even lie. Sheesh. No, that is a feeling you get addicted to right there. Holy fuck, man. I think I get it now. Before, like jumps like, you know, like little tiny like side hit jumps, sure, right? Like I'll hit like a teeny little jump here and there every once in a while, right? But like the full scale like jumps have always kind of like perplexed me because they are kind of huge. And at the end of the day, this is like a big like, this is essentially like a motocross like tabletop, like you're like an average like double tabletop, right? Something like, I don't know all the terminology, but essentially that's what that is. That's just a double right there. A pretty standard double, and it's super easy because it's a tabletop. There's no like real gap. But like, no, like that's a straight up like motocross size jump right there. And like, that's the first time I've ever hit anything even remotely that fat. And I think I fucking get it now, man. I can see why people keep chasing that dragon, you know? And you can kind of like, I don't know if you saw what I did there, like you can fucking like, and I'm getting like a little bit of a taste of like moving the bike in midair too, cause I'm actually like in the air long enough to do some shit like push the front end down a little bit. Like you, like fucking you're in the air and you just kind of like, shoop, push that bitch down a little bit, right? Like it's crazy how much control of the bike you actually have in midair. We just had a fucking moment together, guys. You guys really got to witness and experience this like natural moment of like unlocking a new fucking addiction, bro. I'm gonna need to find myself a motocross track soon before I kill myself back here. See, and I'm really cooking up this shit too. Shoo! See? Push that bitch down. Send it. Dude, that's so fucking good. Where has this feeling been my entire fucking... See, the thing is, too, is it's like the two things, they kind of combine, because it's like the more comfortable I get jumping my snowboard, the more comfortable I get jumping my bike. And the more comfortable I get jumping my bike, the more comfortable I'm probably also going to get jumping my snowboard. So now that I'm hitting like now that I'm actually kind of used to the fucking feeling of just like floating in midair for like what feels like goddamn forever, honestly, I think things might change a lot. Like when I hit the terrain park next year and I'm actually hitting those like fat fucking sets, you know, I might actually be sending those fuckers and hitting them to transition instead of just fucking OJing every single fucking large feature in the park, you know? Cause that's me, I'm a fucking OJ, bro. I'll hit that shit like medium effort, right? Like just shy of where I need to be to just like fucking do it right, you know? And I'm just knuckling every single fucking jump if it's like bigger than like a medium size jump, really. I think I might have just unlocked a new skill set, honestly. See that? Oh my god, that's so fucking good, bro. I fuck with that heavy, honestly. I fuck with that so heavy I might honestly forget to pick up my kid if we don't stop doing it like right now. We're gonna call it quits here. We're gonna go for the distance here real quick. Well, you know what? We'll hit the other side of this trail. How about that? Just like, unfortunately, it's like super duper hard to get to the other side of this trail from the actual trail itself, unless you're walking, because there's like stairs involved, like a stair set down and a stair set up. And it's one of those like little woodland forest stair sets, so it's just like really not conducive to riding up or down. They're slippery as fuck, made out of wood, kind of fucking sketchy and narrow, like not the type of shit I want to really ride up or down if I can help it. So going around is kind of the way here. We got 45 minutes. Shouldn't take too much. If we're being completely fair here, as far as like, you know, battery capacity and range and capability and all that stuff, right? Like if I'm trying to go the distance, I probably don't really want to be pushing like a full 8.5 kilowatts or whatever, right? Or maybe it's 8. I can't remember if it's 8 or 8.5. But regardless, running slightly less kilowatts, because I think the like eco mode is like 4,000 or 4,500 or something like that, right? And so it's like, it's a nice middle ground between like the original eco mode and the original sport mode. It's kind of like a halfway mode, you know, which is honestly kind of neat. I kind of like it. So we're at like, yeah, 17 miles, 74%. So we've been wasting quite a bit of energy going back and forth on that dirt path. That's the energy eater right there. But honestly, the fact that we're only down to like 74 right now instead of what probably would have been like 50. Like if I was, especially after doing all that riding around, if I would have done all that riding around and then went there and did all that like jumping back and forth and shit, if I would have done all that on the stock battery, I definitely would have been at like 50, maybe even like 40% by now. So I think it's definitely doing its job, if we're being completely honest here. See, this shit right here hits pretty hard. There's not a whole lot of jumping action going on here, but as far as just like an off-road place to like open her up, this is really loose gravel too, so like this isn't your granddad's fucking gravel path, that's for sure. Like they just got done doing work here, so it's got that like super deep and loose fucking gravel still. Dude, could you imagine if I accidentally sent it off the side of that thing? It'd be so catastrophic, really. Yeah, nothing special really about this trail. It's just kind of fun to blast up and down it, because it's nice like off-road gravel stuff, off the main road type shit, right? Just kind of nice. Yeah, now we're just gonna kind of go for some like actual like distance and speed. I'm just gonna kind of hold her open down this stretch of road and see what happens, really. Let's see how well we do up this hill, because about 69% is where I was like, damn, I can't see. Yeah, look it, I'm going like 38 miles an hour up, 39. I'm actually like hitting my fucking max speed more or less. Before I got the battery fixed, if I was at like, you know, 68, 70% battery, this thing would be lagging along at like 34 miles an hour. It would just not quite be able to make the cut, you know? I can't lie though, I am like straight, like this front brake is actually like maxed out. I'm actually bottoming out this front brake. I can't even lie. That's not good. I need to fix that 100%. You know what, actually, we're gonna hit the trails. We're gonna hit the trails. They might just need more oil. I don't even know, dude. At this point, I've no fucking clue what these brakes need. It could really actually just be the pads. It's just like it's never had like a combination of like enough oil and like enough pad to feel good. Maybe I just need to make sure I do it all at once, right? Make sure I replace the pads and do a fucking bleed, right? And see how hard I can rip this trail. It's been a while since I've been in here, honestly. For all I know, there's obstacles. I don't remember being here. This is a walking trail too, so I do have to be mindful of that, but I can see enough ahead of me for most of these turns. And I kind of know the place pretty well, so I kind of know where to fucking dip and where to not dip. And once again, throttle is staying in place because it's made out of metal now. It's so nice to like feel confident in like certain parts of the bike that just didn't feel confident. Like before, I used to have to be mindful of like how hard I was twisting the throttle, and I'd have to sort of like reset it every once in a while, sort of like rotate it back a little bit. But yeah, now this shit just works like pretty fucking well, honestly. And those brakes are not feeling good at all. So that's a pretty good one too right here. Not quite as good as the other spot, but still really fun. It's nice because that ditch like compresses compresses the fuck out of your suspension right before you hit the jump, so it's like straight up the booter. Yeah, it's like a nice little jump loop I like to do here. You hit this one, hit this shit, come down, hit it from this angle, come back around, hit it from the other angle, repeat. And that's the other thing too, like this, despite its appearance, this park is despite its appearance, this park is not actually a part of the school, but people do come and walk their dogs here a lot. And with that being said, I am actually fairly respectful of people who are trying to walk their dogs, and I will definitely give them priority over the park, 100%. And so yeah, if I see somebody show up with a dog, like literally every time, I'll just leave and let them fucking walk their dog at the fucking dog park, right? So yeah, no matter where I am, I'm generally respectful to the public who wishes to use it for like more traditional purposes than what I'm doing, right? That was my first spill though, since getting all the new stuff on the bike. Nice little like light spill to sort of christen the new handlebars and everything. That was a fatty. Now that was a wheelie. That was honestly semi-unintentional. I was just trying to get a little front end lift from that situation. I really wasn't trying to do like a full on, like that was damn near balance zone, bro. Oh damn. I actually fucking hit that one, bro. I need to get out of here before I fucking kill myself. But yeah, I think that's probably mostly a wrap for this ride. We got about 25 miles in. We're about 58% battery. Let's call that 50% because I'm probably never really going to end a ride with any less than like 15% battery anyway. So, you know, give or take, that's about halfway. So like riding the way I was just riding, there's like an easy 50 miles on this battery, which is like kind of impressive, you know, considering what I was doing, which was mostly like riding around at full speed, doing like hard acceleration, jumping, all sorts of stuff, trail riding. And I got like a solid 25 miles out of less than half the battery. So I'm fairly confident at this point, at least, that I could definitely make some like 50, 60 mile excursions, especially if I'm sitting there babying the throttle. I honestly think I could get 80 miles out of this battery in eco mode, maybe even 100, but for sure 80. 80 is like 100% on the table with this battery. Yeah, boys, there she is in all its glory. 26 miles, 57% battery remaining. So that was only 43% battery for 26 miles. Do the math on that. That's about, so with 86% battery, theoretically I could get like 52 miles of like very hard riding. And that's honestly the craziest part, is just like how hard that riding actually kind of was. Like I was kind of cooking this thing. I really was. Now the one thing I do want to check actually is my smart BMS app. Oh yeah, one thing I don't really like about this battery, I don't know if you guys can see it from here, but you can kind of see how this like battery connector, it like, you can't, it, because of the angle that it's at, like the wire is always kind of pushing it out, and so it's impossible to get this thing to actually like seat flush. There's a lot of like really weird like design flaws about this battery that I don't really like. I wish they would have just kept the plug in the like basically the same orientation, you know, because otherwise it really does just kind of fuck up. Like I had to actually like remove a bunch of this sleeve so that the wire could flex just a little bit more so I could get it in there, because like this sleeve used to go out to like here, right? This like little shrink wrap sleeve used to go out to like here, and I had to cut all that off just so the wire could flex enough so that it could like actually connect to the battery, right? So pretty infuriating, honestly. I don't know why they made like certain choices that they made with the battery, but overall it's a decent battery for a decent price. Like I mean it's pretty hard to beat the price. It's literally like the same price as a stock battery. Like if you get a stock battery, it's gonna run you I think $19.99 essentially, and this fucking battery was $19.99, so you basically get twice the battery for the same price. And so it is like really fucking hard to complain about too much with that, but even still it's kind of like, come on man. So yeah, our numbers are looking pretty decent. They definitely could be better, but they definitely could be worse. I think our biggest variance is most of them are running at either like 3.707 or 3.708. We got one that's running at 3.71, so we've got a variance of like 0.003 volts, which is insane. I mean insane in a good way, considering that like I had a variance of like over a volt. I think it was like a 2 volt fucking variance, almost 3 volt variance. Like it was like a 2.6 volt variance that I had before, so that's a huge improvement to just have 0.002. That's actually like within the range that it's supposed to fucking be in, so that's tremendous. We actually got like not necessarily a full run off the battery, we're still 57%. Luckily it is kind of technically at storage capacity, so that's nice. But yeah, I would consider that a successful ride for sure. Everything pretty much seems to check out, so I'm super stoked about that. Other than the fact that the controller's only ever going to pull like 6 kilowatts out of this battery, I'd like to figure that out if I can. Otherwise, you know, maybe a new controller's in my future too, and then I could finally actually run this thing at I don't know, some 12 kilowatts could be pretty fucking fun on this thing, I can't lie. But yeah, that's it for this video. Super stoked on the battery. It works, no real problems, no weird voltages or anything like that. Everything seems to check out, other than the fact that all my paint is chipping off of this custom painted battery lid. But yeah, nope, not really a whole lot to complain about, other than like a couple funky design choices that need a little tinkering with. It's a great battery, especially for the price, man. Like you really just like can't even go wrong with the price. You really just can't. So yeah, it was a little bit of a rough road with, you know, getting a fucked up battery originally and having to send it back and all that stuff. That was pretty rough, but I am glad that the thing seems to check out now, and hopefully it performs well into the future. But anyways, that's it for like the 5th time now. That's it. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.